Hello students, welcome to the next video. We have started with a new chapter, that is human health and diseases. In the previous session, you have studied about what is health, what is diseases, different types of diseases you have studied, the common diseases in humans, its symptoms, the disease causing organisms, about pathogens. In today's video, I'm going to deal with how our body responds to the entry of the foreign particles or the pathogens. That is, we are going to study about immunity. To understand what immunity is, in a simplified manner, let us try to understand what immunity is. I'll give you one example. Let us consider that our body is a country and there are many harmful enemies which are invading our body. These invaders are in the form of harmful bacteria, viruses, protozoans, and so on. They try to invade our body and make us fall sick. But our body shows the response to fight against these invaders. This response is nothing but the immune response. So, we are going to study the immunity. So, how we can define this immunity is the ability of the organisms to fight against the harmful foreign particles which are invading our body. So immunity is nothing but the resistance to these diseases. So today I will give you the overall view of immunity, how immunity is classified and how it is working in our body. Let us see. Immunity is broadly classified into two categories: innate immunity and acquired immunity. The word innate itself tells you that innate means inborn, inbuilt. So this innate immunity is present right from the birth and it is non-specific. In innate immunity, there are again different barriers. There are four types of barriers. Number one is surface or the physical barrier. Number two is the physiological or chemical barrier. Number three is cellular barrier, and the last is cytokine or biochemical barrier. So these are the protective cover, or you can say that the line of defense. Surface barrier or the physical barrier, example is the skin, mucous membrane. Physiological barrier or the chemical barrier, example is the saliva, the different secretions in our body like the HCl in the stomach, saliva in the mouth, cerumen in the ear, and so on. These two barriers forms the first line of defense. So this is the first line of defense. The next is cellular barrier, which includes cells. The name itself tells you cellular, that includes the cells. Those are the specialized cells, that is phagocytic cells, and the NK cells, that is natural killer cells. Number fourth is the cytokine or the biochemical barriers, which secrete certain chemicals which prevents the entry of foreign particles. These two barriers forms the second line of defense. Okay, and the next type, that is the acquired type, which is specific immunity. In this, there are two types of cells. Number one is the T cells and number two is the B cells. T cells differentiate to produce CMI, that is cell mediated immunity, whereas HI, that is humoral immunity, is produced by the B cells. So this B and T cells together forms the third line of defense. It forms the third line of defense in our body. In today's video, I will deal with the first line of defense and the second line of defense. So let us try to understand in detail about the innate immunity. So I am going to deal with innate immunity. This part I will deal in the next video. Innate immunity, or it is also called as non-specific immunity. Why non-specific immunity? Because they have a general effect and is not directed against a specific agent. Whenever there is an entry of a pathogen or a foreign particle, it produces a generalized effect on the entire range of the foreign particles. It is not confined or a particular agent. So we call it as non-specific. It shows an immediate response. Why immediate response? As soon as there is an entry of the foreign particle, the response which is shown to this foreign particle, it is immediate. And we can say that as it produces an immediate response, it is always on. So this is effective against a wide range of infective agents. The word innate itself tells you that it is inbuilt. So this immunity is present right from the birth. It is not obtained or acquired in the entire life of the organism. It is present right from the beginning. So we call it as an innate immunity. Our body is protected and completely covered by many regions. We call these regions as barriers or the line of defense. There are 4 types of barriers in the innate immunity. As I have told, number 1 is the surface barrier, or we also call it as a physical barrier. Now let us understand what this physical barrier is. It represents the first line of defense. Why? Because it is a first gate for the entry of the pathogen into our body, and it tries to prevent or stop the entry of this pathogen in the first line itself. Example is the skin. Skin on our body is a main barrier which prevents the entry of microorganisms. If the microorganism escape through the openings present our body, then there is the mucous membrane. Now as the skin protects the entry of the foreign particle, but in our body there are different openings through which the pathogen can enter. It can escape through the skin and enter into the lining of our body. That is the entry wherever there is an entry. For example, the mouth, the nasal passage, the ear canal, so through which the pathogen can enter. But these passages are lined by epithelium. Mucus coating of this epithelium lining, the respiratory, gastrointestinal and urogenital tracts also helps in trapping these microbes entering our body. So this barrier we call it as the physical barrier, or we call it as the surface barrier. The second barrier is the physiological barrier. We also call it as the chemical barrier. Why chemical barrier? Because there are various chemicals secreted in our body to stop these foreign particles entering. Various chemicals secreted by the cells forms the first line of immunity. They trap the foreign components and try to immobilize them. Immobilize means the mobility or their movement to enter our body is stopped there itself. Example is mucus in our nasal passage. So in our nasal passage, when we are inhaling, along with that there are the foreign particles or the dust particles entering our nasal passage. So our nasal passage is lined by the specialized epithelial cells which produces the mucus that help to trap these foreign particles. The second example is lacrimal in the eyes. Even if a small dust particle enter into our eye, there are the lacrimal glands produces the tears through which these dust particles or the foreign particles gets washed off. Next example is the sweat, which is produced from the sweat glands, which is a modified gland of the skin, produces the sweat, which help to prevent the entry of the pathogens. Cerumen in the ear ossicles. This cerumen gland produces the cerumen wax, which help to trap these foreign particles or the dust particles, preventing the entry into our body. The next example is the HCl or the acid present in the stomach. Through food, there is a chances that the harmful bacteria or the viruses or the airborne pathogens may enter along with the food, and if it escapes from the saliva, it enters into the stomach. In our stomach, there is a specialized cells called as oxantic cells secretes the acid, that is the HCl. Due to acidic nature, the harmful pathogens gets killed in the stomach. Next is the saliva, which is also helping to trap the foreign particles in the beginning itself and immobilize them. So these are the examples for the physiological barriers, or we call it as the chemical barriers. The physical or the surface barrier, and the second physiological, or we also call it as chemical barriers, forms the first line of defense. If the pathogen is really very smart and escape through this first line of defense, then our body shows the second line of defense, and that is the cellular barrier. It represents the second line of immunity because there are specialized cells which are generated, which are activated to kill these pathogens. These specialized cells are nothing but phagocytic cells or the NK cells. As there are cells involved to carry out the immunity, we call this barrier as the cellular barrier. These cells are the phagocytes, NK cells and the monocytes present in the blood, as well as the macrophages in the tissues, helping to provide the immunity and to get rid of these harmful particles or the pathogens. These cells, as I said, are phagocytic cells. Phagocytic cells are the microphages, that is the neutrophils, and the macrophages, that is the monocytes. These neutrophils and the monocytes are the types, one of the types are the types of WBCs. So these cells shows phagocytosis. So what do you mean by phagocytosis? Whenever there is an entry of the foreign particle or the pathogen, they understand or recognize these foreign particles, goes to them, bind to that foreign particle and they engulf it. This phenomenon or the process of showing this response by the phagocytic cells, we call this phenomenon as phagocytosis. The second specialized cells which are present are the NK cells, that is the natural killer cells. These are non-phagocytic in nature. That means they do not recognize, that means they recognize the pathogen, but they do not engulf the pathogen. They directly kill the pathogen by producing or secreting the chemicals. These chemicals are perforin or cytolysin. So they recognize or secrete these biochemicals like perforin and cytolysin to destroy these pathogens. The fourth barrier is the cytokine barrier, or we call it as the biochemical barriers. Cells which are infected from the virus secrete the proteins called as interferons, which protect non-infected cells from further viral infection. These interferons act as an alarm. They understand that there is a virus which is infecting the cells. So what these interferons will do, they will enter the cells and stops the process of the protein synthesis. As the protein synthesis is stopped, further infection or the multiplication will stop of this virus, and the infection is prevented. The viral infection is prevented. So this cytokine or the biochemical barrier and the cellular barrier forms a second line of defense. But still, if the pathogen is very strong and escapes this second line of defense, then the third line of defense of our body is activated. And that third line of defense is nothing but the acquired or the specific immunity. So dear student, what I am trying to tell you is, it is by taking an example, it is same as if the enemy is entering. There are the lieutenants who is fighting. If the lieutenant fails, then there is the majors. If the major fails, then there is a colonel, and so on. So same way, there is a first line of defense in our body. If that fails, the second line of defense, that is a cellular barrier and the biochemical or cytokine barrier, gets activated. If this second line of defense fails, then there is a third line of defense activated by our body, and that is the acquired immunity or specific immunity. Now what is this acquired or specific immunity? This is acting on a target particle or the foreign particle specifically. A particular antibody is acting on a particular antigen. Now what this antibody antigen reaction and how this third immunity is activated and how they work, this we will study in the next video. Okay, hope you have understood the first line of defense and second line of defense together forming the innate immunity. Thank you.